Harris Todd is standing by. He's director of coalition and outreach for Project 21, which is a black conservative group. The NAACP may not want to talk to him, but the black leaders who are conservative are like, come on with it. Let's talk to Trump. How you doing, Terrace?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, and you're absolutely right in making that statement.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to meet the president? You know, I get so sick of sports teams and groups and everybody saying, we don't like this president, we're not going to invite him. Why wouldn't you want to listen to what he has to say?
Yeah, even Jesus met with his enemies,
Yeah.
But really, to be honest with you, as a former branch president of the NAACP, and I'm a life member, by the way, I was a former branch president back in Battle Creek, Michigan, and, we even spent time there, building bridges, and some of our most supportive groups were Republicans and Tea Party folks. As a matter of fact, even after my tenure as the local president of the local NAACP, it was Tea Party folks that came to me and said, hey, can you get us some tickets to go back to their annual fundraiser dinner? We really had a great time last year. And so we had people that were supportive, but unfortunately, the NAACP still stuck to the script of the left and kind of, ostracized them, kind of, distanced them by sending in speakers that was doing nothing but, having political talk, bashing Republicans and conservatives and whatnot. I said, wow. I said, that's absolutely crazy. These people are here. They're supporting your fundraising event. They're buying tables even. Some of them bought like 3 tables worth. And so it was really unfortunate, but they stick to the script. And I really believe that right now they're on life support because, the scripture also says to everything there's a season, and so there was a season and a time that the NAACP had its heyday during the Civil Rights era and Jim Crow and stuff like that. I think now they're trying to push for relevancy, trying to remain relevant. And so as a result of that, they made a bad decision by not welcoming the president to their annual convention.
Which is stupid because, reaching out to people who are different than you is exactly how we get rid of the division in this world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The NAACP, which stands for the National Advancement of Colored People, which somebody's going to call me racist for saying, but that's what it actually stands
what it is.
For. So they can all just bite me. But this thing's been this organization's been around for like over a century, and they have been known in the past to be the ones who wanted to hear what the other side had to say and look for opportunity and look for ways to advance minorities in this country. But I think they're all butthurt right now over this Title IX stuff, and it's got nothing to do with affirmative action. I believe it means equal opportunity based on merit. Yeah. And so you can't discriminate against Asians and white people and call it fair. Right. I think there was a time for affirmative action, but that time is not now.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Even a lot of black folks. Matter of fact, Dr. Claude Anderson, I think he said it right, and he wrote some of the very first affirmative action legislation in the state of Florida. He's a former Dem, now independent guy, but I have to agree with what he said that, he was hoping that even affirmative action would fall flat on its face because it was not obviously benefiting the folks who it was originally designed to benefit. Overall, it was benefiting other groups. And so his intentions was that, black Americans would have equity or equality and stuff like that, but unfortunately it was going to other quote-unquote minority groups, which also included women in the space of construction and stuff like that. And so, and then that's why, right in today's time, they're hanging their hat on diversity, equity, and inclusion, but even the data that came out showed that the people who are benefiting the least are black Americans. And so anyway, it's really unfortunate, but the NAACP, they're going to die on that hill, and unfortunately they are certainly not in tune with the rest of the country because even though not inviting Trump, they see, just to go to show you how disconnected they are, the last election, Trump grew in ethnic minority support. So if you're really for the advancement of colored people, as they say, then you would have seen the outcome or the outcome of the election to say, hey, well, we can at least invite him and let him decide of whether or not he's going to attend. And that's what they did not do. Instead, they had to, claimed political expediency as a result of not inviting him.
Yeah, well, and he's a human being, and I know this bothered him a little bit because he is not a racist man, and he wasn't even considered one till he ran as a Republican.
True.
But
True.
If you look back at all of the things that he's done in his life that did benefit people of color, you cannot call this man a racist. And I just find it incredibly intriguing that the black mayor of Chicago has gone so woke that his citizens are coming to the podium and saying, you're not getting reelected. We've had it with you. You can take your beloved sanctuary people and stick them where the sun don't shine because you have abandoned us completely. But that has not happened by Trump.
Yeah, and so did the NAACP, though. Why wouldn't the NAACP be on the front line of a wide-open border that they knew was going to impact black Americans and also our beloved legally Hispanic Americans?
Exactly.
We knew they weren't.
Even they're
absolutely, absolutely, because it cast a dark shadow over their culture, and so they knew that it was going to decimate the African American community. And matter of fact, when they found out that they were the ones footing the bill for it, that's when they really got on fire. They were hotter than fish grease, as they say. But it's really unfortunate that we're at this place. I mean, the NAACP has not been on the front line of things that really matter to black Americans, and that's exactly why here at Project 21 we said, okay, they don't want you, we would love to sit and meet with you. Absolutely, we would love. You pick the place, sir. We'll pick the place and time, and we'll make for sure that us and our ambassadors, which we have coast to coast, we'll make sure that we're there, because it will be an honor to sit down and be able to at least tell you exactly what our agendas are, and our agendas really do align up with more conservative values and principles. The other thing, too, it's interesting because the NAACP, in doing so, they are not on the front line of a lot of these things. If they were really as relevant as they proclaim to be, then why would other black people like a Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton and some of these other folks start their own civil rights and social justice organizations? Why would they just join the NAACP and just be one big happy family? But the handwriting's on the wall, and they realize that they have to take a different path, and so that's what they're doing. And so that's exactly what we're doing here at Project 21. It's just taking a different path. Hey, we're willing to meet with them.
Somebody said, where'd Project 21 come from? Where'd they come? They've been around for like 25 years. What do you mean, where'd they come from? Y'all have been here fighting,
since 92.
Yes, for conservative values in the black community, which actually used to be the norm, if you think about it. It wasn't about culture appropriation or whatever. My white grandson was told you can't wear a do-rag because that's culture appropriation. He's like, I'll wear whatever the hell I want. He doesn't care. And then I have black grandkids who are like, don't talk to my brother like that. So it's like we're all caught up in this timestamp of ignorance, I like to call it, on the left, where they think that if they label something a certain way and you cross that line, you're now a racist. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, well, everybody's sick of it, and again, because we know that organizations like the NAACP and others, they cannot possibly be on the front line of these things because, again, every election that this president has run in has grown in support. As a matter of fact, I worked under the first administration during his first term. I was appointed, to the U.S. Department of Education and under the Trump administration. And even during that time, it was this president that actually removed the office of HBCUs and put it into the White House to guarantee their funding. Now, no other president has ever done that. Every year, the presidents from HBCUs will have to return back to the White House every year, basically begging for money and support. Well, this president made for sure they didn't have to do that every year anymore, so he was guaranteeing funding for the next decade, and he took it and moved that office into the White House, so it became a part of their budget line item, So anyway, he did that, and no one else can account for that. And so, yeah, it's really unfortunate. They go back to the blueprint of crying racism and stuff like that, but unfortunately, while they're crying racism, they're not on the front line of things that actually mean the most to black people.
Yeah, and I am sick and tired of being told that only white people can be racist.
Oh, wow.
That is such a load of crap. If you think you are superior than someone else because of the color of your skin, or if you look at somebody and judge them because of the color of their skin, you're a racist. That's the definition. So is he coming to your lunch?
Well, we're waiting to hear back from them, hopefully and prayerfully so. I mean, we sent things by snail mail. We sent a pigeon over there. We sent email. We did everything but put it on the back of a donkey. So we're hoping to get a response from them very soon.
Put it on the back of an elephant. We don't like donkeys up in here.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't like them. There's another.
That's right.
There's another word for them too. It's not donkey. All right. So, as you traverse being a conservative as a black man in America, that's got to be a rough ride sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. It's not too bad. When I was appointed by the Trump administration the first term, I will have to say that out of all of the people that congratulated me, Democrats or Republicans, there was one gentleman, though, that stuck out and called me a coon. He ended up taking it down off social media, but he didn't name my name, but the folks locally knew exactly who he was talking about. But other than that, I had never been called a coon a day in my life, and so which is really a derogatory term. But and the sad part is that the Trump administration hired me to head up an initiative that was started by Obama to address excellence in education for African American students. And so I was like, this idiot doesn't even know what he's talking about. I'm actually hired and appointed by the administration to head up an initiative that focused on black students because I'm an educator by profession. And so I said, I'll let the ignorance just remain. I just will ignore it. I won't even entertain that nonsense. But
I didn't even know what that word meant until I moved to Missouri. I'm from North Dakota originally. I was like, what does that mean? What does a raccoon have to do with black people? I did not get it. I had no idea what it meant.
Yeah, it just simply means you're a turncoat, you're selling out your own people or whatever. But again, if I'm selling out my own people, then why would I head up an initiative to focus on black students? And so it was absolutely crazy. But other than that, I did receive a lot of love from some people. And tell you the truth, it hasn't been as difficult as I thought it would be. And I thank God for that because people pretty much understand, a tree is known by the fruit it bears. And I thank God that we have good fruit here at Project 21 and really trying to meet the needs of all Americans, but particularly African-American communities.
Isn't it funny how the conservatives are really happy to have you?
Oh yeah, I tell you what, when I had my walkaway moment years ago, I tell you what, it was nothing but love from the locals. I mean, they embraced me like we're family. We love each other. We were truly like family, man. And so and we're still like that to this day. We still connect up all the time, And I'm talking Republican Tea Party folks. I'm talking all of it. I mean, it was a love fest. It really was.
Oh, we're all white supremacists, though. Remember, Terrence? That's who we are. All of us conservatives. We drive around and we want to hurt everybody who's not like us. We are not all the Aryan race, folks. We are conservatives. We believe in the values that the church holds and that were held by the people of old when it comes to just treating each other with respect and doing things the right way.
As a man of faith, I'll tell you what got me when I first went to a Tea Party meeting. I looked around the room and they asked if I would open us up in prayer. I said, okay, now you got me.
Yeah. I mean
all of the meetings opened up in prayer.
Yeah.
And that was eye-opening. I'm like, wow, this has never happened before.
Yeah, and there's not screaming and yelling.
That's right.
There's discussion.
That's right.
There's discussion. All right.
That's
well,
right.
I love that you're doing this. I hope he answers it. I'm pretty sure he will because he's good like that. I don't know how he has enough hours in the day to do everything he's doing, but I'm really excited. There's a meme going around by the Federalist Papers it's got Obama saying Iran underneath them and a picture of Trump that says I didn't.
Oh wow. He is a jokester.
He is. I laughed so hard, and I'm like, you know what, though? What a good answer. It's like these people have been a threat to us for so long.
Absolutely.
And I'm worried about the sleeper cells that are in America right now. I expect things to be happening here, but as soon as they pop off, I hope they get popped out. That's how I hope it rolls out. Well, where can people go to learn more, Terrace Todd?
They can go to www.nationalcenter.org. They can actually, make donations. They can sign up for our newsletter that gives them updates of what's happening in all three of our programs. So Project 21 is just one program of the National Center. We also have Able Americans, which focus on those families that have loved ones that are disabled. We also have the Free Enterprise Project as well that deals with, the markets and deals with corporate America, that kind of thing. So anyway, go on there and take a look at us, check us out, and if you know anyone that's interested in joining in, have them go on there and do that.
Yeah, and I suggest that when you invite him to lunch, you have Big Macs and Diet Cokes. He can't say no to that.
Yeah, yeah. Keep the fries coming and beef tallow. Yeah, keep the beef tallow fries coming. Yeah, yeah.
Terrace Todd, Director of Coalition and Outreach for Project 21 at National Center and Project 21. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.